hear me? Can you hear me? Let's go. What up, what up, what up? For sure, for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna get started right now. Hey, Ryan, text me if it happens to shut off, just in case it shuts off or something. Just that way I could restart it. All right. Let's see. I wanted to show you. Look at what I'm kind of looking at right here. I got a lot of stuff going on. Let me delete this. Delete. Which one is this? Is this the bottom? Yeah, the bottom one. All right. So look, we had this gap here, and we did break it. It looks like we're coming back inside of it. But one thing that I wanted to see. Let me remove. I don't really like that being like that. Something like that, yeah. Don't really need it like that. All right. So what I kind of see here is I do see this little area. This was the this is the 1 hour. This is the daily. So actually, this is what I've been liking doing. I need to put 2 screens. Let me get this off. The reason why is because I like to I'll put it right next to each other like this. There you go. All right. So yeah, so the reason why I wanted to show you this right here, because look, when I do that, it puts it actually, it lets me see where the candles are of, like, let me remove this guy. Yeah, you can see where this is at. Yeah. So when I like draw on it, you'll be able to like see, you'll see it pop up on the other screen, which is over there. Yeah. All right. So the reason why is because this is why I'm saying it. Like, okay, so I have this wicking into, right? Perfect. Then we have this close below, and then we do have a close below, then we have a close back above, and then this becomes your first fair value gap right here. And with this first fair value gap, that's when it broke through. Though I didn't really like the fact that it broke through, but the reason why is you kind of look over here on the bigger time frame. This is the low right here, which would be this. Okay, so that's the low. We wick below, close back above, and then we already filled it up. Like, we already filled up that whole range pretty much. So it kind of wasn't, it's kind of like a weird one right now because of that. It's not like the CRT we would want to look for. But one thing that I am noticing is there is a 3-piece right here, which is this, an inside bar, and then this is what swept it, and that is why we did push up like that. But we did get rejected, and the high of it is up here. So I'm just wondering if this could have possibly been like the tap to maybe now go, but I'm just not liking the way it's looking like that. I'm just not liking it. I'm not liking it. So, but then look at, then also right here, this is another one right here. So this is, look at this, wicking into, that's in that candle. So that's already not the right one. We have a close above, then a close back below. Perfect. That's all in that same second candle. But what is it sweeping? It's sweeping this previous candle, which would be this, which would be that. Okay, so it'd be that side. So it did sweep that. And then the low of that is this guy right here. And we pretty much filled that up. So what I'm just going through like what I kind of see. So what I kind of do sometimes is it's like what ICT said before. He goes like, if you yeah, what I try to do is I try to find a bullish scenario and then I try to find a bearish scenario. And like ICT says is that if you can find a bearish scenario and a bullish scenario and they both follow a model and they both kind of are going against each other, that's already a sign of a low probability trade. You should only be able to find one direction and it should be nice and clear. So if you're seeing two directions, that's already giving you a heads up to let you know that it could it's saying two directions for a reason, you know. So but yeah, that's kind of why I'm saying too. Look at, like I said, I see a wicking into, we see a close above, close back below, and then we have the closing below, and then this becomes your first fair value gap, which technically is all of this. And then you could kind of see this is the rejection right here. So if that would be the rejection, that means this would all be. But this, when you look at the higher time frame on these candles over here to your right, those are not a CRT type of candle which you would want to be looking for, right? Because we're trading the Model 1. So if this is the Model 1, it should be inside of that second candle, and there's really nothing right here that's giving us that idea. This is in the second candle, which is this green candle over here, so which is this one over here. So it's like I said, it's already not, those are not the type of candles we would want to look for. So that's kind of why too, why I'm saying there's a reason why you do have a bearish scenario, which is the whole steps, wicking above, closing below, first fair value gap, perfect, does that. But then you also have a bullish version, which is saying the same thing to go up, and then this is the first fair value gap. So it's like, it's definitely giving you two different ideas, but that's kind of why it's still stuck in this overall range right here, which is, I believe, still the overall direction of where we're kind of heading. So if you kind of see where we've been stuck at, we've been stuck right here for the last day or two. So it hasn't really been moving too much. But there was a trade right here that one of my buddies took. He sent it to me on Instagram. Let me see, where did he take it at? Oh, was it? Okay, it was this guy over here. This trade. I believe he took this trade. He took it pretty much from here, and he wrote it down into this gap, I believe, something like that. Something like that. But this was a nice trade right here. This was everything you would kind of be looking for. And then it was right here at 840. Kind of a little early. Still not bad. Hey, but he took it because it followed his plan and it was a perfect turtle soup. That's what he was looking for. So this is what I would do right here. So like, I'll do that. Put this right here. Put it right here. Where's this other guy at? Where'd my other page go? Right here. So yeah, I want to find this area, that trade right there, which is, I believe, yeah, this area. It didn't really look like the CRT, but I'm not sure how he found it, but he definitely found it. It wasn't maybe a continuation. And it was targeting this gap. It's all about, like you say, it's all about gaps, right? So look at the gap it was targeting. Let me see, actually. All right, but yeah, so kind of like I was saying about this is that I still see this being, oh damn, we're pushing up right now, like that. All right, let me see. Oh yeah, it's coming up like that. Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. Okay, okay. Let's see, let's see. Let me see right here. This is a big gap. So yeah, it's coming down. There's this gap right here. All right, so all right. So what do I have to do right now? So what I need to do is find a direction, like where are we going? And then it goes back to this kind of thing of what I believe is still valid. We're still in this area over here. And this was that CRT original low right here. So we manipulate it, went back up, and then almost like a retest. So my next idea is still up here towards these areas. So if we need to target that, how are we going to get up there? And that's kind of where I've been thinking it was going to be here, but I don't know. It's like a weird, definitely something weird. Let me see, right here's the daily gap also. This is a daily gap. I need to make sure I keep, and look at how it's respecting the daily gap. Higher high, higher low. Yes sir, let's see. Daily FEG. Still want that to be a daily FEG. And we're still inside of it. Still inside of it. We are making lower lows, higher highs, but we going to the top. The one thing I just don't, but like remember, like I was saying about just nothing's kind of matching up right now. Like this is on the 4-hour time frame also, which is this little area, and there is a gap right here, so you could kind of see that's the gap we're kind of getting rejected off of. But one thing that I was, well, this one did close below, so that was maybe. Actually, let me see what silver's doing also. So with silver, let me go to silver. that's what that was. It was for the dates. That's the 18th. Okay, so February 2015, February 15th at 6. So we still have this divergence. It's still like a, so right here. Well, actually no. Now we kind of matching it up. Let's see. Friday at 9. Be that guy. So here. Oh, so look now, look at this. Boom. Boom. There goes the crack. You know. Damn, did silver just do what it was supposed to do? Alright. Let's see what quarter this is. We are in the third quarter. And this is in the second quarter. This is in the first and the second. So this is the first and the second quarter. Alright, so let me go back to gold. I need to see what this is about. Alright, so this is the hourly. Alright, so like, so that's the hourly. So that means on the hourly we should see something on the 5-minute. That should be on the 5-minute, which would be something right here. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to find some imbalances. Let's go back to this 4 hour real quick. See what this 4 hours looking like. Alright. Alright, so this imbalance right here. Here's a 4 hour one right here. And the next one is down here. This is the daily. The 4 hour. So if we're in a daily gap, there's another daily gap up here. We did tap it already. I don't know. Something's just not right now. Yeah, it's chop right now. Daily FVG. Daily FVG. Yo, appreciate everybody watching though. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys for watching though. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm just going over a few things, trying to find a few directions and stuff like that of where we're headed. Just give me a second. Looking over some stuff real quick. Oh, tomorrow we got that's for them. SCAD. We got building. Yeah, nothing. We ain't got nothing. Alright. I think needs to happen is a sweep of a session. Just go to anytime there was a big move. Look at these up here. This is a sweep of a London, Asian, and New York. Alright, so yeah, there goes the Asia low and the Asia high. And that's kind of what we're kind of stuck in between. So I think that's, I mean, if you kind of even put the percentage, we're right at the below it, right at the 50. So that was your discount or your premium or whatnot, whatever you want to call it. do like that though. Let's see. Alright, so what I kind of see going on right now is possibly it coming back down to these levels at least, just before, if it does decide to go up, it's gonna have to do that. I'm just kind of let's see, because the reason why is because, like, you could kind of see right here in these areas right here, there's really nothing that close below. So I would have rather wanted, like, you see how this big long wick, it did grab liquidity, but what the wick is showing us is it's showing us at least it's strong enough to hold support, which is also why it bounced up there, then it bounced up there. So what I'm trying to get to is, the idea is that the importance of a close below is to try to fake you out, kind of a thing. So this is signaling, yeah, this level is definitely strong enough. Now what we need to see is some kind of close below, but understanding how I talk about, you know, what the model that I talk about, when you have the wicking into type of candle, this could be your key level, and then it's the candle that wicks into. The next steps are a close below the candle that wicked into. So what I would kind of want to see is a close below here, and then that would also kind of sweep this Asia low, which will give us maybe the manipulation to go back to the Asia highs over here, and then that's kind of the idea that I kind of have right now, is that it's not only I mean, you could kind of say this is the one thing is that it's on the 5 minute, and then when you go to the 15 minute, you don't really see no close below or nothing like that. So fake out at least. So what I would kind of want to see is, I want it to make you, because the thing is that it has to make you think it's going one way in order so it could go the other way, unless it just pushes up from here. Maybe this is the level, but that's just kind of what I'm looking at, because I'm just almost thinking, what if this is the manipulation of this area, and then this is the low right here, and then this is the low it's going to try to tap. But yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna wait and see. I'm just gonna see what happens here. If it blows through here, then yeah, this might have been all it needed. And then this is the manipulation, and then this is just like a retest before going back up. But that's the only thing, is that I do want to see some kind of close below idea type stuff. I mean, on the 1 hour, you do have this close below here, which would be this guy. And that is kind of the idea of what I'm talking about, is you do want to see something close below to make you think it's a sell, just so it could flip behind you like that. And then this did tap the key level again, which is this tap here, and it's respecting it. But then even on this though, there's really no close below. I do want to see something like that maybe, but I don't know. I just, like I said, it just, nothing really seems too clear right now. I mean, damn, this is pushing from here, but if that's the level, that's the level. But now I'm thinking about it, I guess it could be the level. But yeah, I'm just gonna sit and wait right now. Sit and wait. From there to there, 17 pips from there. Yeah, but like I said, I'm kind of sitting and waiting right now. I'm just sitting and waiting. Yo, can you hear me? My bad. I might have been a little too far from the mic. Can you hear me? Yeah, let me know if you can hear me better now. I'm talking a little bit closer to the mic. Yeah, okay, let me know if you can hear me now. Yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching though. If you guys hit that like and subscribe, hit that like and subscribe. All right, now we're coming down. Okay. See, and kind of like the same idea like I was just talking about. You want something that's going to make you think it's going one way so it could go the other way. So exactly like I was saying, like, damn, maybe this could be the level. Maybe this could be the level. But it's the idea, the plan is, you know, I would rather see certain other things. So if that's the case, I need to see that before I, you know, jump into anything. But like I said, this is definitely a good sign. Because like I said, the reason why it pushed up so high like that and so strong is because it wants to give you something to make you think it is going up. It needs to make you think it's going up so that way enough people could start taking buys. That way it could just dump just like that. But let's see, like I said, what I want to see is something down here. This would be at least the area of a tap. Because the reason why is this is like an open gap right here. And just understanding how it all works is that it just targets gaps. So if that's a gap, it's gonna try to target it. I was saying this line right here. Let's see. But there is a gap right here. And this is the gap like I said, this is the reason why this is the furthest away gap. But then there is a gap right here that is lined up with that high of that candle, and it matches up perfectly. Yeah, we'll just see. Yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching though. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't hit that like and subscribe yet. Appreciate it. There it goes. Okay, so that's what we want to see right there, is a push down into that. And if it were to reverse, this is where I believe it would reverse. But I don't think it's going to be that easy. It's probably going to push up after that. I mean, push through it, I believe. Alright, so look, here we go. We're at this level now. Let's see what happens. Does it reject and it hit it? And the reason why I was believing it needed to tap in this level right here is because of the fact that it did close above that. So the idea was like, it's like a, I believe what they call it, change of character or something, whatever they call it. But just the idea though is that, see, it was on a 15-minute time frame when you had to close above. So you had to close above, which is kind of signaling kind of like a fake out idea. And then when you go to a smaller time frame, it closing back below, it usually targets the first gap right here. Like you could pick, there's, like I said, there's a lot of gaps. There's a gap here, this one, this big one, this one too. So it makes you think like, which gap should I choose? But what I've came to conclusion, like what I've always, the way I remember it is like a it's like if you go to a store, what would you rather buy? You buy the cheaper one or the more expensive one? you would rather shop during a sale, right? So the idea is the first gap right here is the cheapest one if you're looking for a buy. It's the cheapest one up here if you're looking for a sell. So kind of those type of things is that it's kind of how you could kind of judge it. So now just kind of like I say, it's all about imbalances, right? So if that's an imbalance, like I say, the whole idea started from this. The close above here, if this is truly a breakout, what's going to happen is that it is going to pull back and retest, and what it does is it fills in all of the open gaps. And like I said, these are all open gaps that it filled in. Now it's probably at least going to target this high. If not that high, it'll be at least these gaps, I believe, which could be these gaps. Yeah. But if it's not the breakout that you would think, like, okay, it's not the one that's going to go up like that, then it is going to break this level, and then it's going to do what I was saying earlier, which is like we do need a close below here somehow. We need some kind of close below here to make you believe it's going to go down in order for it to go up. So like I said, it's going to need to scare you out in a sense to where it's going to need to close below here somehow, start closing tough. It's going to start pushing tough. Like it's going to start pushing, I believe, like this. If this doesn't go up from here, then it goes back to what I'm saying is that it does need to close, and then the close below is going to need to be something like this. It makes you think, oh shit, it's a strong close below. It's going to continue down, and then the next one right after does it dance a little sloppy. It just does it. It just kind of cleans it up, engulfs it. My bad. I need to make it straight. So keep. Oh dang. There it goes. Perfect. All right. Then it engulfs it. Then that will create that order block, and then you'll have some kind of retest, maybe even close below, maybe, and then back above like that to target the high. And then if it breaks through that one and this ends up being the Asia low that we swept, then you're gonna want to see back to the Asia high kind of a thing. Just an idea, just an idea. Let me know if what you think about it. I do see this gap right here though. This is looking a little lonely up here, so I'm just wondering if this is going to give it a retest, which is also this kind of key level, and then this will be kind of like a head and shoulder, and then this is going to be the decision area. And that's the where I'm kind of saying too is that it's either going to continue down, and then this is a supercell and it's just going to keep going, or this is the one where it's like I said, it needs to make you think it's gonna be a sell, and then it just reverses after that. But I've been kind of, the thing is I've been kind of waiting. Yo, I'm glad you're back, bro. Yes, sir, for sure. Decrypt, what's up, bro? Yeah, we cooking now, bro. So, like I was saying though, is like I was kind of expecting to move up this last week or two, but since it kind of hasn't happened yet, I'm kind of worried that it's not gonna happen for like possibly a whole nother week, which would be not until this date, which would be at least not until the 24th, which is way over here. Mugs, yo, what up, bro? What up? Damn, we finally getting some people in here. I've been on here long enough. Nah, I'm playing, but that's what's up, bro. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Just gotta keep. But yeah, I'm gonna start streaming again pretty much every day around the same time every day. So make sure you guys locking in, locking in. But yeah, so like I say about the quarters, you know, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. What's gonna happen is there's usually a move. If you kind of look up here, this is the split of the quarters. Ooh, let's see. Oh, damn. Damn, what the hell? Damn, I done did myself dirty. There we go. Yo, appreciate you guys for stopping by though. Appreciate it. Alright. Alright, I forgot what I was even doing. Oh yeah. Let's see what this is looking like. Yeah, so we got this like that between 1 and 2. So what do you think 3 and 4 is gonna be like? 3 and 4 is gonna be like this. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. But nah, it shouldn't be like that. Like, I mean, this is an SMT right here, but you see how it's not going into the second quarter? It's kind of, let me see something. Yeah. So if this is down a lower high, then this one I'm saying is going to be a higher high. It's always in quarters, y'all. Quarters. You guys got to understand quarters. And the quarters are just broken down into 4, and then there's different sessions. There's Asia session, which is first quarter, London session, which is second quarter, New York AM, which is third quarter, New York PM, which is fourth quarter. And understanding which times do each move happen, you can understand when you should be waiting for a trade. London usually makes the lower high, so like not lower high, low or high, meaning London session quarter 2 usually makes the low of the day or the high of the day, and that's where the reversal happens. But the reversal, not all the time, but like I say, if I'm looking for a model, I'm looking for that London low and London high. And you could be using this little indicator right here just to kind of give you a heads up, just to kind of let you know what's going on, what sessions you're sweeping, you know. Like, let me show you something. Like, look at over here, perfect example. This big move down, look at what happened. New York, Asia swept New York, and then London just continued it. And there goes the SMT right there. And then London to New York, and then it's been doing. And then look at this one over here. New York made the low. It just depends. It just depends. Oh, but look at this now. Look at what I see here. I see this, which is wicket into, close below. So that means that's the 15. So that means this needs to be on the 4 hour. And nope, that is not nothing you would want to see on the 4 hour. Because the reason why, because look, so when you're looking for the Model 1, you see how this is the Model 1 right here? This is the higher candles, which would be the CRT. So this would be in your second candle, which should be either down here, or if it's technically in this candle, this is not a CRT. A CRT is actually coming from the top to come down. So it's almost like you should be seeing this model so it could come down, which is kind of maybe this possibly this gap right here. But that's how you would kind of understand if it's the right one or not. Like, it's kind of just playing games right now. Let's see, 32. Oh, we got the higher prices. Damn, that thing is closing. But like it goes back to, I think it could be targeting this this fair value gap right here. What was this? Oh, that was, so is that the 1 hour gap? Oh, the 4 hour gap right here. Damn, 4 hour gap. Okay, so look, you see a 4 hour Model 1 here, and this is inside of a gap here. That's what you would want to see to target now to target this. So look, now let me see something. Let me see something then. I'll put this going here. I'm gonna put him going here now. And then what you're gonna want to see is there's a Model 1 should be here. Perfect. Let's see there. There's the 4 hour. It's the 15 minute. Perfect. All right. So let's see. Actually, back to the 4 hour. Let me see something. This is inside of the 4 hour gap. 4 hour FEG. Let me see. CRT high. 4 hour. CRT low. 4 hour. So what I want to see is on the 15. I want to see, oh yeah, let me go back. Let me see something. Okay, I need that vertical line, which will be this next 4 hour candle. This will be the third 4 hour candle. Third 4 hour. So that's when this next candle should start. So you're going back to the 15. This is what's kind of happening right now. We do have this gap up here, but the one thing that I do notice is that there hasn't been a green candle yet. When there's not a green candle yet, it usually is still kind of open, in the sense of, like, let's say this green candle closes right here, then that's where I believe the fair value gap will start, and then that's when you would start possibly seeing a move into it to come down, if that's what it was going to be. But it says this one is at 2 o'clock, which is how much longer till 2 o'clock? This will be 1 o'clock, which would be now, oh, because 1 more hour after that. So it'll be 4 more candles. So 4 more 15-minute candles. Yeah, because look at this ends up becoming the 4 hour. I have quite a bit of stuff. I can see it, but probably harder for you guys to see it. Let me actually remove this thing. I can remove him. Remove this. I could do without the gap for now. So the idea is, let me get rid of this. Perfect. All right, so we hit that. Perfect. Dang, that thing went money. Perfect. But yeah, this thing is not closing yet, so let's wait for it to close. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, so like there goes the CRT low, CRT high, and this is in the third candle. So what we would want to see is yeah, it's not gonna work out. I think what's gonna happen is it's gonna end up targeting this high, just kind of like the idea from this, the whole idea from this push possibly was so we could target this high. So now I'm wondering if it's still gonna follow that. Damn, that thing was money right here off of this bounce though. Perfect. And then this is gonna be the that is alright. Actually, I have a lot of stuff I removed. I need to put it back so I don't lose it. Alright, yeah. So I can remove this guy. That guy. This gap is fine. This gap will go. Alright. So what I see here is this thing right there. Perfect. Oh damn, look at this. I just noticed this. And this is on the, so let's see what the 1 hour. Oh, the 1 hour is looking nice. 5 minute. Yeah, this thing is about to look like it's about to push. So we have this here, and we have this here coming up. Dang, I can't believe though this thing right here bounced exactly off of that level. But that goes to show you what I was talking about earlier. If you were here listening to that, that definitely is the way to find that level. Alright, so I think it's at a decision level right now, so it's definitely gonna either get rejected from here or it's gonna break through from here. This is the level I think it needs to decide. But you can kind of see over here this 1 hour candle. These are the CRT right here. You can see this is the CRT and this is the third candle right here, which is going to be the possibly the distribution. If this is the move that goes back to this high, then this will be the distribution candle, because this is the third one, and this is kind of looking like it's pushing this way. But that's why I'm saying is that I just don't really like it, because it's there's things going down and then there's things going up, so it's kind of like a weird, it's like in a weird limbo right now that I really don't really feel too confident about. It's like if you're in a buy from down here, obviously it's easy to hold. You're right until you're wrong, until this comes all the way back down and gets you out. But it's like if you start trying to take a buy up here, you're kind of at the top of the range possibly, and there's only two options obviously at the top of a range, is that it's either going to get rejected, which means you end up being wrong, or you end up being right. But even if you're right, like how much are you expecting? Are you expecting it to go all the way back up to here, and then you're gonna leave your TP at break even, or you're gonna close partials? You know, it kind of just depends. But it's just in a weird area right now that, like I say, I see that. But that was, like I say, this was the whole purpose of why I even had this idea. It was, like I said, the purpose, this whole move up was this idea in the first place, was just like pure price action, just understanding once it closes above, it has to come back and retest down here. And then that ends up being the idea, is like, is either going to continue up and reject, or it's going to push through here and then it's going to keep going lower. But this is a weird time right now. This is like a, it's like I said, the thing is though, is that it is forming, it is doing what it's supposed to be doing. The Model 1, you got the CRT over here. It's like it is fine and looking nice, but the thing is that you you might be able to get into a little quick move, but I'm just worried that it's just going up, so it could go down possibly until, and the reason why is that it's giving me kind of two different, it's kind of telling me a buy and a sell, which is kind of weird, because it's like I said, I could take a 10 20 pips up, or I could take 10 20 pips down, so it kind of don't really matter which way I decide. But what I always try to do my best of is try to get into the trade that that is with the trend, so it goes back to where it's most likely just gonna go straight to TP. You don't really have to worry about drawdown too much and things like that. But that's kind of why I say it's just like it's always best if you go with the trend. It's like obviously if you take a sell from here to here, that's a good sell. You take a buy from here to here, that's a good buy. But so it's like you both could be right. But let's say this move does this all the way down like this. If you're taking a sell, no matter where you take your sell, you're going to be correct because you're in the correct trend. Whereas if you take a buy, you have a very small window to be wrong, or you only have a small window to be right. So if you only have a small window to be right, then it just makes it that much harder. So that's where I kind of say is that if you could at least get the trend right, which means you get it in the correct direction, it really doesn't matter where you get in. You just got to hold long enough, and then you'll be in profit at some point. But that's only if you're in the right trend. So all right, here we go. And then it goes back to what I see over here. Now it's CRT this candle. So if that ends up being the range, there is a gap right here between these candles. So what I'm kind of thinking is that it's going to need to at least kind of fill in these gaps at least. And then that would be kind of creating this Model 1 idea, which is targeting back this high, which is what you kind of want to see back down here. So this is the new range we're stuck in right here. I appreciate you guys for watching though. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. I got my Instagram in the description and stuff like that, so make sure you guys follow up. All right. Okay, I know it's starting to look like it's gonna start falling from here. I mean, everything is kind of lining up for it to be bullish. Like this is lining up nicely. This is the CRT that we look for. Even in the timing, it is kind of. It's like this is in the first quarter though. We're gonna need another low. That's why I'm pretty sure. Because look at this idea. No, this will be the second, which is why it pushed. And then the so that would be the 4. So it's going to reverse, which will cause a new low. And then you're going to need another low. Yeah, you're going to need another low, which will cause this to be the level, quarter 1 and quarter 2. And I think if it ends up making a new low, it'll be somewhere over here, which will cause that ST, which will also be like this, which will be into these quarters, 1 and 2 again. So it's kind of, which will eventually start targeting here maybe. I mean, it's telling me to go up, but the one thing is like I keep reminding myself is like how my idea was that we still needed something that kind of closed below somewhere, unless I'm totally wrong and it doesn't need a close, and then this was already, it needed to do what it needed to do, and then this is just like the fill in or whatever it was, and this was the bottom. Then I mean, I guess it could be that, and then it just makes more sense though. It's not just gonna go straight up like that. Yeah. Let's see though. Let's see. It's just been accumulating for so long though. There has to be something going on in the news coming soon. Has to be. Monday. Let's see, tomorrow. Nothing. That'll be Tuesday. Tomorrow, that'll be Tuesday. This will be Wednesday. And we have FOMC. Wednesday. Let's see what Thursday. Thursday has to be something because it's just been accumulating. It's gearing up for something. So let's see if there's something tomorrow on Thursday. Perfect. Red folders again. PMI, unemployment claims, perfect. That would explain why it's been accumulating, because there's back-to-back days. Let's see if one more Friday. Oh, pal. So every day this week is just pumping, pumping, pumping. But that would explain why we've been accumulating this whole, like anybody who took a buy here and just held it thinking, oh, we're going to go all the way to the top up here, got stopped out. Anybody did it again, that's kind of what I'm almost thinking. It's like if you're in these trades, the news is gonna try to get you out, and then it's gonna start going. So that's kind of what I've been thinking about. So that's kind of why I say is like it just, there's a reason why it hasn't just took off yet. If it was done and ready to go, it probably should have already. I mean, obviously nobody knows what's gonna happen, but let's see. It did hit this gap. So look, so if this is the model right here. So if this is the model to go up, this would be when it needs to go up. So like I say, this would be into the right here at 50% would be right here. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. That's what you want to see. And then the 50% is up here. Damn, that was right on time too. Before I could even try to take a buy. It's all good though. It's all good. But that's what that's kind of that is the model right there with the timing and everything. Because it's that third candle when it distributes, and that's the one that usually shoots up. There it goes. And then, like I say, where you target is the 50%, which is here, and then the 100%, which is there. It's all good. Like I said, that's kind of what I would, like I say, now I'm kind of noticing it. There's the gap, there's the high. So this is the high of this area. This is the, oh, wrong one. This is the high and this is the low. So we manipulate it, then the 50 would be here, and then the 100 would be there. Damn, there it goes. I think too though, like how you can see the Asia highs and the Asia lows right here. That is the two areas. But, ooh, that thing is pumping. There it goes. Damn, that was a nice low. 35 pips. But now look at this. Now it's inside of this gap. So it's definitely gonna figure it out right now. All right, y'all. But I'm gonna hop off. I was really just waiting for that, to be honest, like this next move, just for that time. The time right now, this 1 a.m. is popping, so just want to look at that. But yeah, all right, y'all. I'll be on the same time tomorrow. We're gonna hop on, we'll cook some more, and we'll figure it out.